Welcome to the Explainer. So today, we're doing something a little different. We're diving into this huge collection of documents. I'm talking notes, rules, even recordings, all from a single role-playing game. And we're going to try and figure out, how do all these words on a page actually become a living, breathing world? Okay, let's just start right here. Oh, so he completely ignored me, calling his mom a backwater catfish, right? You hear that, and you just have to ask, what on earth is happening here? Like, how did we get to this point? This one sentence, it's a destination, and our job today is to unpack the entire journey that led right to this moment.
So, yeah, we're pulling back the curtain on tabletop role-playing games. It's this really unique way of telling stories together where things just happen. It's collaborative, and the story kind of creates itself in real time. It's one of those rare places where the line between being the author and being the audience just completely vanishes.
All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. We're going to follow a kind of hourglass shape. We'll start big, then zoom way in on the tiny details, look at a really chaotic moment where it all comes together, and then pull all the way back out to see the big picture. So first up, worlds from words. This really gets to the core question, right? How do these kind of dry rules and lists on a page actually turn into these incredible, dramatic stories? How does that transformation happen? Well, it pretty much all starts with one person, the game master, or GM for short. The best way to think of them is as the architect of the whole experience. They're the referee, the narrator, but they're not writing a script. That's the key. They're building a world, a foundation that the players then get to live in and, mess with. Okay, so let's look at what's in that architect's toolkit. We're talking about the actual blueprints and raw materials they use to build this fantasy world from scratch. Okay, check this out. This is the perfect example of how it works. On the left, you've got this really dry rule from a manual about a forced march. Basically, if you travel too long, you get exhausted. And on the right, you see the result in a player's actual notes. We decide to go spend some time resting because several people are very exhausted. See? The rule creates a problem, and the players have to react. The rules aren't just there to say no. They're actually creating the story. But a world isn't just a big book of rules. It's filled with stuff, with magical items that make it feel real. Take this, an arcane focus. It's a crucial piece of gear for any spellcaster. They literally can't do their magic without it. But where do you get one? And this is where the world building gets so cool and so deep. You don't just buy this thing off a shelf. You have to craft it. And look at this recipe. You need a bottle of lightning, whatever that is. You have to start casting a spell and then stop it right at its peak. And I love this warning at the bottom. Making the tiniest mistake could have devastating results. That's not just an item. That's an entire adventure right there. It adds real risk and stakes to everything. And sometimes you do just go shopping, but even that helps define the world. A shop's inventory isn't just a boring list of swords and armor, it's where the world's personality really shines through. I mean, a compass that points to the nearest bottle of rum? Yes, please. A towel with instructions for a mind flare attack? What does that even mean? It's these weird, funny, mysterious things that make the world feel like a real, quirky place. Right? So the GM has built this incredible world. But it's just an empty stage, right? A backdrop. It's the players who step onto that stage and bring the whole thing to life. And again, they're not actors reading lines. They are the ones driving the story forward. And looking at the player's own notes really gets you to the heart of it. Look at this entry from a player named Morgus. His own team, his friends, want him to sacrifice a dog named Bud for some ritual, and he just flat out refuses. That's a huge moment. It's not about what's strategically best. It's about what his character believes. It's a purely character-driven decision, and it creates amazing drama. And you can see this incredible freedom in the plans they make. This isn't some mission they were given on a piece of paper. This is a full-on heist they're cooking up themselves, step by step. Lure guards away, start a fire for a distraction. Oh, and my personal favorite, burn down the vineyard before we leave. They have total freedom to try this. And, crucially, total freedom for it to go horribly, hilariously wrong. So this is where it all comes together, where the rules meet the chaos. What happens when the architect's carefully built world collides with the player's unpredictable actions? Well, this is where the real magic happens. So imagine this. You're in the middle of a huge fight. The GM lays down the law. He is resistant to non-magical attacks. Basically, your normal weapons are barely scratching him. A huge problem, right? But then, another player chimes in. Wait, didn't you put that powder on top of your axe? Just one little reminder, one moment of teamwork, and everything is about to change.
And because of that one little reminder, an attack that would have done, maybe 7 points of damage, suddenly becomes this massive 33-point psychic blast. That's a game changer. All because one player was paying attention and helped out a friend. It's teamwork in action, turning the entire tide of the battle.
Let's actually map this out, moment by moment. It's fascinating. At 12 minutes, you have that player remembering the item. A couple minutes later, the GM is making a custom ruling on the spot, saying advantages can stack. Then the players are talking strategy, and it all leads up to this, the moment of pure, unscripted roleplay where a player tries to taunt the bad guy by calling his mom a backwater catfish. It's this beautiful dance between the game's mechanics and pure, chaotic imagination.
Okay, so let's zoom back out. Now we can see how all these pieces, the rules, the weird items, the player choices, the chaos, it all gets woven together. And the result is a story that everyone at the table is writing together. A story with real, genuine emotional stakes. Just listen to this. This is intense. And you have to remember, this isn't a line from a movie. There's no script. This is a player, completely in the moment, living as their character, and delivering this line of just pure, raw, spontaneous emotion. This right here, this is the payoff for everything we've been talking about.
And these moments, whether they're super intense or just funny, they become these shared memories, these inside jokes that the group will talk about for years. This line right here, "Don't try and retire. Worst idea I've ever had." That tells an entire epic story in just 8 words. It's the kind of thing that makes their game, their legend, completely unique.
So that's the whole journey, isn't it? From blueprint to legend. What we're really looking at here is an engine for creation. The game provides the blueprint, the starting point, but it's through the collaboration, the chance, and all that beautiful chaos that a group of players builds a legend that is 100% theirs.
And what's so amazing about this is that it shows anyone can be a storyteller. All you need are a few tools and a space to create. So it really just leaves you with one question, doesn't it? In a world with absolutely no limits, what story would you tell?